What is going on, everybody? It's your boy Dan here. My camera's crooked. That looks better. We are here today looking at a brand new figure. The Red Hulk, the Harrison Ford Hulk, as people are calling him, because he's played by Harrison Ford, even though his figure doesn't much look like Harrison Ford. But that's what we're here to look at and judge. But before we get into it, if you haven't already, please like the video, subscribe to my channel where I do a bunch of reviews and figures just like this. I've been doing a lot more content lately too, and I'm very excited for the future of my channel, so please subscribe. Anyway, let's take a quick look at him here in the packaging. Yeah, you know, he looks like the Hulk. I feel like that's what a lot of people are complaining about, that he doesn't look like Harrison Ford. And in like the trailers and stuff, he does. You know, he just looks like a Red Hulk in here. Yeah, here he is. But yeah, exciting. I'm excited to open some. I have Falcon as well. Hold on, I'm going to knock over like 7 figures showing you him. Oh, but there's Falcon. He'll come out close to the movie. I really wanted to look at this Red Hulk figure because who isn't a Harrison Ford fan? You know? Anyway, let me open them up, and we will be right back to talk about them. Okay, guys, so I got the Hulk here out of the packaging, and that noise right there kind of, if you know, just kind of sums up how I feel about this figure. I'm not going to lie, I was playing around with it for a little bit, and I'm just a little disappointed with it, and I'll get into why that is. And I'll just show off some of the accessories. So you see I have his open hands there. I do have his fisted hands here. They are there once the camera focuses. There it is. Look at that. Looking really good. And then here's his face too. Yeah. And anyway, so let's get into the figure. You know, I already said I'm disappointed, so I assume you guys want to know why. And I don't, listen, I do know why. There are things that I don't like about this, but there's just something that, like, it feels like it's incomplete in a way. Like, I'm going to pose a figure, look at him like this. Looks fine. It's just something about his lower body. He's giving me DC McFarlane vibes where it doesn't stand and just doesn't look right. Like it's weird. Now, mainly is just like the way he's standing right here. It looks like his knees are constantly bent, and there's no way to straighten out his knees. Like he can't get his legs in a straight pose. Like this is as far as they move forward. Like that, they always look like they're slightly bent. Like he's holding in a poop that he's just like it's just trying to get out, and he's just like, and it's crippling him. It doesn't feel right. And like, I feel like for a big figure like this, you kind of want him to like feel as if he's standing right. Like his legs just don't seem to straighten, and his feet in conjunction to that don't feel like they can get in the pose either. Like if he were to stand straight, like it's not necessarily this is a big deal, that because it's pretty straight and you can get him looking like it, but his feet, like it just feels like there's just something off about all of it, like the sculpt and the articulation, where it just feels weird, his lower half. And then you know, some other things I don't love, which I think a lot of people are complaining about, and I brought up, is that the likeness to Harrison Ford just isn't there. Now, I don't remember, but I remember seeing some people talk about like the announcement of this figure, that it did look a lot like Harrison Ford, but neither of these faces really, I mean, they look nothing like Harrison Ford. I get that he's not necessarily himself, he's this Red Hulk form, but you can see in the trailers, he looks like, you can tell like it's Harrison Ford as the Red Hulk. I mean, maybe I'm misremembering things, but you know, it just seems weird. Now, another thing too is You know, I was gonna rip on the paint a little bit, but it's actually not that bad. You know, it is very red, and there isn't a ton of shading, but that doesn't really bother me too much. But it may bother you, so I'm just gonna let you know, like, it is. And then, like, the hair on his chest seems very, like, you can tell it's fake. Like, it's weird because you can see all the individual lines are painted, where maybe I wouldn't even want that. You know, like, maybe I'd want this, but I'd want like a darker tone around it. Like, they should have shaded the area around around his chest hair. So anyway, there's just some gripes I have with this figure that just are keeping me from really saying I love it. You know, it's not a bad figure. It's just, it's not great. You know, I mean, I'm looking at him right now, and it doesn't look bad. I really want to open up Sam here and do it, but I'm going to save him a little bit later. I actually wanted to save both of them for later, but I couldn't control myself. So maybe I will open both. Yeah, and then another quick thing too. So I'm going to go over the articulation here. He doesn't have any butterfly joints, which is something that I'm not necessarily a huge complainer about, but I have my Red Hulk that's over this way. It kind of looks like I'm pointing to nowhere, but it's that classic Hulk mold. Excuse me, that classic Hulk mold where he does have that. And you can get him into these, like, his hands are really stretched out, like he's really, like, you know, it just, and it feels like I'm not really getting that with this. I feel like the butterfly joints would have been nice for him. I guess there are ways you can kind of fake it. Yeah. I don't know, maybe if I'm just used to my Hulk figures having that, like, butterfly joint there. Because I really like that Hulk mold. That's really tongue twister. Every time I've said it, I've almost messed it up. That's not true. I have messed it up. But I'm looking at them, and I can see the poses I have them, and I'll probably try and take pictures, and I'll throw those up on my Instagram. But they just seem a little off. I actually kind of want to see the Endgame Hulk. Doesn't have the butterfly joints, but it looks a little weird. I mean, I guess it's not terrible. You can still get him in some pretty, like, expressive poses. He's very angry. His arms are out. He's ready to just, like, do his Hulk smash or his Hulk clap constantly. Like, his arms are very rarely down to his side. He's very rarely relaxed, you know. So I think it's be cool if he could have those butterfly joints. Like, they would really lend themselves to it. All right, let me just go over the articulation here. So let's go. So there isn't a ton of articulation. It really feels like, you hear the clicking. It's really just one click. It's this one click at the thigh here, and then more at the lower part of the knee. You know, feet pretty good, and got that ankle pivot. He does have a thigh cut, and he does move. And then he doesn't really articulate too much. But I'm not going to complain about this. I do complain about this a lot with the DC McFarlane, but this is even better what they get than what they give us. But I know lots of Hulk figures don't have that big, like, ab crunch that you see in figures, because they are a bigger character, obviously. So it stands out a little more. So they don't always, put it in there like that. Arms got good articulation, hands, all that. But yeah. Anyway, I'm gonna try posing this guy up, see what I can make of him, and yeah. Stay. Good. Got him. All right, I'll be right back. Howdy, partner. A lot of people are saying we look alike. You know what, Indy? I would disagree with you entirely. I mean that in the kindest way. I don't think you guys look alike. And I don't think he agreed with you either. That might have been why what just happened. Anyway, listen, this figure's not terrible. It's not a terrible figure, but it's not great. I will admit I'm a bit disappointed. And, I did get him for a little bit less than the retail of $40 that you'll see on the shelves. But, I can see why people are going to get very upset about this figure. And Listen, I mean, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe people are going to love it. I know there's a Red Hulk figure I like more. And I know that this, isn't going to be that figure, but I was kind of hoping for, if they thought it'd just be a cool figure to have, because I'm a big Captain America fan. I'm looking forward to that movie and I really wanted it. And I think if you like movies, you won't be like disappointed with this figure. Like I said, it doesn't have the likeness of Harrison Ford. The articulation is a little weird and the mold and everything. Like there's definitely ways that this figure could have been better. Like we've gotten figures, like I'm just thinking of, I have him right here. Let's just bust him out right now. For $40, we got this guy. Carnage. And I thought this figure was incredible. So, listen, am I upset? Am I yelling at Hasbro that, hey, you made me waste my money? You terrible people. No, I'm not. It's part of collecting action figures and all that. Some figures just don't hit the mark like they should. But, listen, it's a fine figure. Whatever, it's just, I don't love it, I'm not going to tell you whether or not to buy it or not. You make that decision on your own because you're a big boy and you can do that. But just not my favorite Red Hulk figure. I would have liked something a little more. Anyway, guys, I'm going to take some pictures of this guy and I'm going to throw them up on my Instagram. And you should go over there and check that out. And once again, if you haven't liked the video already, please do, and then subscribe to the channel. I might make this guy, Sam, who's being blocked right now, as well. We'll see. Lots of figures just came in, and I'm doing new stuff with my video, so I'm like really in limbo as to what to make. So I just kind of bust this guy out and made a video. So anyway, peace out, guys. Love you.